It's the first shift of the new season for Tynan Lawrence. He leans in for the draw. Brock Schultz, his counterpart, and Lawrence 1-0 to start his season. It's sent in onto LaShot. He's forced to hold on, and just like that, the Lumberjacks will get an offensive zone face-off. Morgan Brady, he gives a bit of a shove to Lawrence after the whistle. Lawrence, he leans in again from Schultz. Noringer, the outside trigger position, near side of the Waterloo zone. One back by Lawrence, though out of the zone it goes, and here's Dexheimer. D-to-D with Lance across the way, ahead for Lawrence, and chipped ahead for Noringer, but is taken away. On the near side, Ate Vikla works to the far side and up the wall. Noringer is stick in the passing lane, so it comes out towards Reese Lance rather than on the stick of a Hawk. Dexheimer away from Nolan, up the ice, met by a white jersey. It's taken away by Vikla. He starts a regroup with Brady near side. Novotny meets it, cuts towards the middle, but it's poked off his stick, and now Brock Schultz poked away by Lawrence. It's sent back in. Axelson off for Hudson, ahead for Victor Noringer. Sent across the way, though it's caught in the feet of the defenseman wearing 71, Salvatore Viviano. Dexheimer back to receive it in his own zone. Knocked down by Ty Mason, pushed up the wall towards Noringer. Now here comes Lawrence. Through the neutral zone, ahead for Novotny. Taken off his stick by Viviano, regained by Novotny. Lawrence meets it near side corner. Behind the net for Melvin, and across the way it goes. Nolan, he corrals the puck, looks to clear the zone, but Novotny, a great stick lift, wins it back for the Lumberjacks. Off a body to the near side for Nolan. Met by Coring and now by Novotny. He sends it down behind the net. Lance, far side corner of his own zone. D-to-D with Coring near side. Now Novotny at the blue line. The Hawks win the draw at center ice. It's Merrick who takes it. Leaves off for Reber, and across the way it goes. Carlson looks to win the race. Merrick does and carries near side. Back down behind the net for Taharn. Poked away by Belusco and left off for Tynan Lawrence. 3-on-2 rush Lumberjacks. Novotny near side. Back to Lawrence across the way. Catches it and curls up the wall. Now thrown back in front. Noringer gets it near side. Victor turns and fires. It stays onside, but Taharn, a little time and space, goes backwards for his defenseman Reber. Up the near side, White Rabbit. Coring a good step. Battles for possession at the red line. Noringer comes in to help out. Here comes Lawrence near side. Tynan down low just in front of the pass. Was the stick of Novotny. It went underneath of his heel. So Waterloo a chance to break out of their own zone. They do so. Face-off won by the Hawks. It's chipped up across the way. Here comes Noringer, joined by Novotny. 2-on-1 rush. Victor fires on at the pull of the trigger a second time, but it goes wide. JSD sends it deep. Knocks down Schultz in the process as well. Belusco steps in. He's knocked down hard. Lawrence gets it back down to him in the corner. Up top, JSD fires on. Off the glove. It stays out of the net. In and out of the glove of LaShot and sent down the ice. And play continues. Extra attacker on. Niles works across for Belusco. Lawrence, the extra man on. It's forced out of the zone. No whistle, though. Now it comes. And the Lumberjacks, they'll get their first power play of the evening. But the Hawks, they win the faceoff. Ate Vikla across the way. Pushes down low. Playing pass with Viviano, who gets it back now from Mason. Now Vikla near side. Toby Carlson pushed down the wall. Viviano. Carlson for Vikla. Across the way it goes. It's Aiden Merrick. Down to the corner, Mason. Behind the net near side, Viviano. Up top, Carlson. Away from Lawrence. Works down the wall into the corner. Ty pushes him against the wall and battles for possession. Poked out of the zone by Sanderson. Vikla meets him. Carter continues his way down the ice, and the Jacks can change 3 of 4. Up the near side, over the red line, Lawrence back onto the ice. JSD, the first one on it in his own zone. Off for Tynan, up the near side. Lawrence looks to clear it, but it's kept in the zone. Here's Schultz. Met by JSD behind the net. Now Lechner helps out. JSD up the near side. Jacks are back at even strength, and here comes Lawrence. He'll lead the rush across the way, working on Brady, puts the brakes on and fires on. It's kicked away by LaShot. Novotny lays a check. Possession goes to Noringer. Victor, top of the circles, across the way, a pass for Dexheimer taken away. Here comes Nolan. Ran into by Noringer as he fired, so an easy save for Carl Axelson. Tynan with Noringer, Novotny, Hudson, and Dexheimer. Jacks trail in shots 8-7. They lead where it matters, 1-0. Fired on, but blocked by Lawrence. Here's Noringer. To the near side, Novotny catches it off the wall and taps it past Brady. A good recovery by the second-year Hawk, and now here's Matejevich. Couldn't pull the trigger. It trickles wide of the cage, and Noringer picks it up. Hurling away from Kaz Carlson. Victor, long saucer pass, met by Novotny at the Waterloo blue line. Regained by Carlson. Across the way, Dexheimer picks it up, enters the offensive zone on the near side. Carlson knocks him down, goes backwards for Brady as we take towards 5 minutes to go in this first period. Tynan Lawrence and his unit back on. It's won by the Hawks, though. Here's Brady. Works down the near side, but met by Dexheimer. In the corner, Lance shades over to help out as well. To Harn, helped out by Carlson. Taken away by Lance, knocked down by Brady. Here's Merrick. Works across the goal line and behind the net. Up to the blue line, he finds Lalibert. To the near side, Brady, and sent off the back wall. Behind the net, Reese Lance. Looks to go ahead for Noringer and does, but Lalibert keeps it in. Back down towards Carlson. Into the corner, Lance over to help out. Carries up the far side, Lalibert sends it towards the net. Couldn't pull the trigger, that was to Harn. Centers for Carlson. Great block by Novotny. Gets started the other way. Brady looks to win the race. Novotny keeps it in the neutral zone and cuts towards his own end. He's knocked down by Brady. It's sent in onto Axelson and left off for Belusco. Own end. Anthony Thomas Maroon and Blanchard replaced by Lawrence and Chris, one of the top penalty kill units in the league last year. Gets started for the first time this year. Merrick taken away by Chris to the offensive zone, looks down for Lawrence, and it trickles into the corner. Tynan knocked down to his stomach. It's taken away by Vikla. Across the way, White Rabbit gets it near side. Back across it goes. Carried up the ice, but taken away at the center ice logo. It's regained by Schultz, who sends it in. Belusco, just 17 seconds to go in the period. Long stretch pass down the ice. Lawrence, he gets off alongside Chris. Lawrence and the power play unit for the Lumberjacks, they're on for the first time. Tynan, he'll take the draw far side circle. Novotny, the inside trigger position next to Benson. But it goes down to the far side corner for Noringer. Up top, Belusco. Near side, Novotny. Plenty of space. Drops off for Belusco up top. Adam across to Noringer. Corrals it on the wall. Victor. Down low, Novotny behind the net. Back to Noringer, far side. Lawrence near side of the blue line. Caught it on his backhand. It's poked out of the zone, and now here's Ty Mason. 2-on-1 rush. Caught up in the feet of Belusco. It's regained by Benson. Back to Belusco near side. Adam curls away from Mason, works up the near side and back behind the net. Up the middle of the ice. Belusco still with it. To the near side, goes off the skate of a Hawk. Taken back by Benson. In tight, fired on, the rebound was loose, but LaShaw swiped it closer into him. Lawrence's unit, they're back on, looking to take advantage of that momentum. Face-off won by Muskegon. Here's Novotny. Cycles off for Noringer, but behind the net it goes. Lawrence meets it. It's on the near side now with Belusco. To the blue line, Novotny. Across to JSD. Jean-Samuel fires on. It's deflected wide. Noringer off for Lawrence. Side of the net. Popped out in front. Noringer takes it and fires, but it's blocked in traffic. Now up the near side. Skated out of the zone by Ginman. Regained by Noringer. Across to Novotny. Fired off the post. It stays out. Novotny for Belusco. Works down the far side. Still with it. Tough angle shot. He scores! Adam Belusco wires one to the top corner. his first goal of the season, and it's 2-0 Lumberjacks. Well, that's a goal scorer's goal. Watch Belusco here. He could have given it off to Novotny. He calls his own number, activates himself in the offensive zone, and works down the wall. You're saying to yourself, you're making your angle harder the lower you go on that far. 13:01 to go in this second period. One back by Lawrence. Here's JSD off for Lechner. Teddy up the near side. Lawrence got a piece of it. Looking for Novotny. It's poked away by Reber. Towards the Muskegon end. Novotny has to chase it. Lechner takes over, meets it far side. He's met by Miles Ginman. He's getting in his first USHL regular season game. It's taken away by Lawrence and carried near side. Away from Mason to the offensive zone. Lawrence carries down to the corner. Behind the net. Heavy collision. Mason more on the receiving end of it than anything else. And it's kept in by Hudson. Lars Holtz carries down low and curls back towards the blue line. Leaves off for Lawrence. Tynan in some space. Fires on. It's shouldered away by LeChamp. And out of play with 12:18 to go in the second. And Lawrence, who joined him. Tynan near side. Regains possession and works down to the corner. Looked to pop out in front. He was met by Jimmy Reber. Now Novotny to the blue line. JSD works near side. Carries himself at the blue line and across the way for Noringer. Now Belusco works down the wall. Adam up top to Noringer. The Jacks some extended zone time. Noringer gives it to Lawrence. Off for Belusco. To the blue line, Noringer. Fired on. It's blocked in traffic. Belusco keeps it in, but it's poked out of the zone by Nolan. Kept close by JSD. Jean-Samuel to the near side. Belusco into the offensive zone. Adam works down to the corner. Up top, JSD. Back down the wall towards Belusco. In the corner, helped out by Lawrence. Belusco continues to battle. 2 white jerseys on him. Towards Novotny behind the net. Up the near side. Belusco looks to keep it in, but it goes all the way down the ice. Lars Hudson, the first one on it. Over the red line he goes. Sends it to the far side corner. Coring the first one there for the Lumberjacks. D-to-D with Dexheimer. Barrett, long stretch pass, looking for Thomas Maroon, though the two couldn't connect, and so icing is called against the Lumberjacks. One back by Mason to the near side. Ryan White Rabbit fired towards the net. A pretty save from Axelson. He pops up and grabs the rebound as well. The face-off near side of the Jack zone. One by Lawrence. Here's Belusco taking off his stick. Miles Ginman now. Behind the net, thrown out in front. Ty Mason, the chance, he scores! Are going to be Lawrence, Noringer, and Novotny. Head coach Scott Gordon trying to quiet very high offensive unit for the Lumberjacks. Face-off is won by the Hawks. Reber looks to clear the zone and does. Ty Mason, the latest goal scorer, meets it in the offensive end. Looks out in front, but wraps it around behind the back of the net. Taken away by Novotny. Now here's Tynan Lawrence, catches a pass behind him, makes his way down to the far side corner. Wraps it near side, here's Belusco, a great zone entry by Lawrence. And it goes down low for Novotny. Across the way into the corner, cycles it back down low. Tynan, back to Novotny across the way, but it's taken away by a Hawk. So Melvin has to go to work. Needing Jimmy Reber in the corner, it's left off for Viviano. Joined by Ginman, the rush the other direction. Viviano off for Ginman, and behind the net it goes. Nick Coring there for the Lumberjacks. Knocked to his knees, it comes away with Ginman. Opt out in front, fired on by Mason, but blocked by Lawrence. On the near side, down to Ginman, in the corner. Tynan takes it away with some help from Coring. On the near side wall, Lawrence clears it, but DeGraff takes it back. Across the way, Morgan Brady to the offensive zone, drops off, good shot, but a better block by Nick Coring, not the puck out of play. Lawrence is joined by Noringer and Sanderson for this opening face-off. Carter might be going here to start the third. We're underway. The face-off won by the Hawks. On the near side, it's played up the wall. Here's Lefebvre, met by Coring. Lawrence down behind the net, and across the way he goes. Ahead for Noringer. Victor, far side of the defensive zone, caught up in the feet of Belusco, but a good recovery. And now here's Sanderson, looking for Lawrence, instead finds a Hawk, and here's LaFair. Regained by Noringer. Victor, head up, assessing his options to the near side, finds Lawrence. Into the offensive zone and pushed behind the net. Far side, it's held up by Ryan Whiterabbit. Lawrence gets it on the wall. Met by a Hawk, that's Nolan. Lawrence continues to battle. Nolan looks to clear it. Noringer, a good keep at the blue line. Lays it down low and behind the net. Sanderson pops out for Lawrence, but it's poked off his stick. JSD steps in. Instead, here comes Nolan the other direction. It's Lalibert who controls in his own zone. Ahead for Matijevic. Axelson behind the net, off for Coring. Ahead for Sanderson. Carter again looks for Victor and has him. Victor Noringer behind the defense, on his backhand, he scores! Victor Noringer soaring like an eagle behind the defense. Taps it past the netminder. It's 4-2 Lumberjacks. There's a conversation going on at the Waterloo bench right now, but the conversation ends and we're ready to go. Lawrence leans in near side across from Brock Schultz, the two team captains. One by Muskegon. Noringer pinned against the wall. Plays up to the blue line. Belusco across to Novotny. Lawrence in front. He scores! Tynan Lawrence, welcome back to the lineup. He strikes for an auto. At center ice, up the near side, Sanderson. His unit with Lawrence and Noringer still on the ice for the Lumberjacks. Tynan near side, backwards for JSD. Jean-Samuel across to Teddy Lechner, ahead for Tynan. Lawrence through the neutral zone, a nice move, carries the offensive end. Lawrence with it, fires, but it's deflected wide. Noringer back down to the corner. Up to Lawrence, now to the blue line, JSD and across to Lechner. To the near side, it goes off, and Noringer still with it. Looks backdoor for Lawrence, and it comes down to the corner. Tynan up the wall. Caught up in his feet, met by Vikla. JSD looks to keep it in. Lawrence working for it as well, and it's pushed back down to the corner. Tynan, he'll get off for a change. Lawrence back on with Noringer and Sanderson. Face off won by the Hawks. Near side, LaFair clears the zone all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. Nolan is met by Lars Hudson. Noringer goes to work for it. So does Lars Hudson and Tynan Lawrence. It comes out with LaFair, though. Good check by JSD. Brady near side, met by Sanderson. Here comes Lawrence. Clears his zone, avoids a check, and continues down the ice. A good poke check, though, by Jackson Schneider, and now here's LaFair. Fired on, and Axelson, a pretty save. Face-off will be far side. I'll tell you what, LaShaw, he earned that power play for his team, that's for sure. Face-off won by Muskegon, near side, off the glass, and down the ice thanks to Barrett Dexheimer. Sanderson, a heavy forecheck, wins possession away from Vikla. Carter. Backwards for Belusco. Sent to the near side and down the ice. Lawrence, he gives chase. Toby Carlson, met by Tynan. Off for a Teddy Vikla. Up the middle of the ice. Vikla near side, Merrick. Now Carlson, met by Dexheimer. Wrapped around far side. Viviano, the first one on it, met by Belusco and Sanderson. To the blue line, Vikla, near side, Carlson. Back to Vikla. To Carlson, near side. Up top, Vikla, fired on, a great block by Sanderson. Makes his way down the ice. Carter Sanderson, shorthanded breakaway. Fires on, a pretty save made by LaShaw. Sanderson had all the time in the world to fire a shot. There was no one really back checking on him. Joined by Brady behind him. Face-off won by the Lumberjacks. Sanderson looks to clear it. It's kept in by LaFair. His shot blocked by Lechner. JSD looks to clear it. Helped out by Lawrence. It's poked to the neutral zone. Lawrence continues with the poke check and gets it to Noringer. In the area, it's regained by LaFair. Away from Noringer. Ahead for Schultz to the offensive zone. Brock Schultz, he leads the rush. Finds the third man high, Meyer. His shot blocked by Lawrence. He'll start the rush the other way. Lawrence, the offensive zone. Leaves off for Sanderson. Carter back down to Tynan in the near side corner. Works behind the net. Tynan, far side, off for Lance. Fired, but caught in traffic. Lance, far side of the blue line. Centers for Lawrence. Near side for Hudson. Lars for Noringer. Now Lawrence, a one-timer blocker to side by LaShaw. Schultz picks it up.